This is CBN NewsWatch.
And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Efrem Graham. A busy Friday in Washington as lawmakers pass a massive spending bill that includes a measure to end the pay-to-slay policy practiced by the Palestinian Authority. Also, another shakeup in personnel inside the White House. Our Jennifer Wishon is in Washington following the details.
The motion to concur is agreed to.
In the wee hours of the morning, lawmakers gave the thumbs up to a $1.3 trillion spending plan to fund the government through September. It received bipartisan support, but conservatives in both houses railed against it, complaining they had just 7 hours to read the 2,200-page bill, the length of 2 Bibles, one member wrote. The price tag, they say, is too high and includes line items they can't stomach, like money for Planned Parenthood. An item in the measure both sides celebrated, the Taylor Force Act, named for an American combat veteran brutally murdered by a Palestinian terrorist while visiting Israel. His killer was taken down by Israeli Defense Forces, but when his body was returned to Ramallah, he was welcomed home a hero.
The Palestinian government gave his family a big sum of money. They rewarded him as a martyr. This bill, the Taylor Force Act, suspends all U.S. money to the Palestinian Authority until they change their laws, incentivizing their young people to kill Americans and Jews.
Graham calls it a sick system that's too lucrative for some Palestinians to resist.
Under Palestinian law, you'll make more money being a terrorist than a worker.
When Taylor Force's parents heard the news, Graham says they burst into tears. They've worked hard to ensure their son didn't die in vain.
If you'd want your son to do all the right things, have them look up Taylor, because he did.
On the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue, a shakeup in the president's inner circle. National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster is retiring from the Army and will be replaced by John Bolton, former ambassador to the UN and outspoken hawk on foreign affairs.
Well, I think the National Security Advisor and the entire structure of national security decision-making in the United States is intended to be flexible. It's intended to be adaptable to the way the incumbent president wants to structure it.
Bolton echoes Trump's tough policies against North Korea, coming in as the administration plans a sensitive meeting between the president and Kim Jong-un. His new position also increases the chance the U.S. will pull out of the Iran nuclear deal. Relations with China are also tense after the president announced new tariffs on as much as $60 billion in Chinese imports to the U.S. It's a bold America First move. Trump says he's trying to correct the nation's $800 billion trade deficit with the world, half of which comes from China.
I really believe they cannot believe they've gotten away with this for so long.
China responded today, announcing a list of American goods like apples, pork, and steel that may be hit with higher import duties.
A trade war will not help anybody. It will certainly affect the daily life of the American middle-class people.
The president says he's doing things for the country that should have been done long ago. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News, Washington.
And here's a look at some of the other stories we are following for you right now in the CBN newsroom. Protesters are taking to the streets in California after a police body cam video showed the shooting of an unarmed man. Police were responding to a 911 call when they approached the man, Stephen Clark. They advanced toward him. They say he was holding a gun, but turns out he was only holding an iPhone. Students at a California high school are calling on their peers to protest abortion in a national school walkout. This comes after a teacher questioned the walkout for gun control earlier this month. She asked if students would be granted the same rights for a different protest like abortion. President Donald Trump tweeted last July that he wanted to ban all transgender service members from the military. The proposed ban is supposed to go into effect today. Since Trump's tweets, federal courts have rejected portions of that ban. It is unclear if the White House will be announcing a new policy. Toys R Us, the once dominant chain of toy stores that has fallen into bankruptcy, suffered another blow Thursday with the death of founder Charles P. Lazarus. The 94-year-old died of respiratory failure. He opened the first Toys R Us in 1957 and it grew into a global chain with thousands of stores to tell to sell toys. Lazarus once said, "You have to think like a child." Toys R Us declared bankruptcy last September, and this week it began closing down its stores. A Christian girl is being held captive by Islamic terrorists in Nigeria for refusing to renounce her faith. Boko Haram returned 101 of the 110 girls they abducted from a school last month. Lisa Shiribu was not freed by the terror group because she is a Christian. Another young girl who was released by the jihadists told reporters Boko Haram will keep the girl until she converts. A Nigerian human rights group is calling on the country's president to act. European Union members are preparing to take action against Russia after this month's nerve gas attack in England. British Prime Minister Theresa May presented evidence leading members' nations to agree it was highly likely Russia carried out the attack against a former spy and his daughter. The EU has recalled its ambassador from Russia, and some countries reportedly are preparing to take similar actions. Today, the EU is expected to discuss Britain's exit from the bloc, as well as trade and protectionism, after President Trump's decision to delay tariffs against European aluminum and steel products. Many Americans visited China this year to participate in Chinese New Year celebrations. Inspired by what they witnessed about the country, some say they want to return to share God's love to unreached people. Among Fai Li has the story.
All was quiet as the day begins in Xiangping village of China's Hunan province. In many houses like this one, the floors are spotless. Chairs and tables are put away. Delicious dishes of food are on the table. This is a big day for the locals. They are thrilled about receiving special guests. Christian musician Josh Martin traveled all the way from America to this small village. He teamed up with other international musicians to spend a few days here teaching singing and bringing joy to these lovely children. For Josh, this is not his first time in China. The country has a special place in his heart.
I originally moved to China in 2003, and I've lived there on and off for about 8 years. It's an amazing place, and I love the very rich, old culture.
A music producer, Josh says his passion for music all started back in college. He felt God gifted him with musical talents, and Jesus could use him to advance his kingdom.
Present in my earliest memories was singing with my family. Music has affected and directed my life like few other things have.
Josh developed bigger goals, a music project for Chinese children.
I chose to do this album a cappella because there's something so special about this instrument, the human voice. A cappella is so pure and it's incredibly unique, and here in China it's really cutting edge because there's very little a cappella music. It's been fascinating to just sit back and watch God open doors.
When he first met these kids, Josh felt deeply in love with them. Over time, Josh felt something special towards them.
Currently in Asia, there are about 87 million orphans. Every 18 seconds, somewhere in the world, a child becomes an orphan. These are children who are often forgotten by society, many of whom will never know the warmth of a parent's embrace.
American singer Tim Storm was deeply touched by Josh's passion for the Chinese orphans.
We've been trying to accomplish two main goals from the beginning of this project. One is to put out great music and give people more musical resources, and two is to raise money for charity.
Josh and the locals took a vacant government building and turned it into an orphanage. That's because Josh felt God wanted him to give these kids more than just food and financial support, the love of Jesus Christ. Josh Martin is no longer a stranger to those children. They fell in love with this funny American guy. They often invited Josh to join them for lunch and told him interesting stories and taught him Chinese words. During his recent trip, Josh brought additional friends. Meng Huiyuan is a Chinese rising music star. Singaporean music star Jerry Tan flew to China too. The three of them are working on a new music project for these kids. Their desire is to allow music to touch these lively souls.
When Josh shared his ideas with me about the project, I was very excited. It's the message of love to the children. They are so cute and open to learn a lot of things.
Only in a few days, Jerry Tan built meaningful friendships with these kids.
I think that they will find something unique that makes them smile and gives them joy.
As Josh and his team continue to travel around China, he's hoping that God will bring more talented musicians to this nation. More importantly, Josh is praying that more children will fall in love with his songs and know the love of Jesus. Meng Fei Li, CBN News.
And coming up, we're going to give you an inside look at the new film, Paul, Apostle of Christ. See how this retelling of a classic Bible account is already touching lives. And welcome back. Outside of Jesus, Paul is arguably one of the most important figures in the New Testament, and his story hits the big screen today, just as believers prepare to celebrate Palm Sunday this weekend and Easter next weekend. I had the chance to sit down with the film's stars and its director.
Keep your voice down! I'm thrown into prison on conspiracy.
Set during a time of Christian persecution in Rome, Paul, Apostle of Christ, focuses on his final days in prison. James Faulkner plays the role of Paul.
My life did not begin with hate. I don't recall the feeling as a child.
Looking at Paul, he has an amazing arc in Scripture. He goes from being a persecutor to being persecuted.
Yeah.
How important was...
Wow. Extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
That whole story is extraordinary. And in a sense, I'm prepared to play Paul because I have played so many villains, I guess. There is still some love in me, and this may reawaken it.
Nice.
And it did.
Mm.
It was, for me, a transformative experience to play Paul.
How so?
You cannot say those words without believing them. You cannot say those words without it changing you.
We cannot repay evil for evil. Evil can only be overcome with good. What did you tell them?
Love is the only way.
Jim Caviezel plays the role of Luke, who risks his life to visit Paul in prison.
So you deliver an unforgettable performance in Passion of the Christ that people all these years later, myself included, still talking about.
Red.
You haven't done a biblical film since then.
That's right.
What is it about Luke that made you say, yeah, this is the return?
It wasn't necessarily about Luke. It was finding the right story. What I'm looking for is common sense.
Yeah.
And there was a common sense to this. It wasn't a film that just beat you over the head. I realized that this movie can, someone who doesn't know who God is, I mean, anything about him, that it would have a massive effect on him.
The film's director, Andrew Hyatt, also wrote the film. For him, Paul's story is his story.
I walked away from the church for about 7 years, and then I had a major reconversion back, very much in the vein of St. Paul, a Damascus Road type experience.
It's a story that touched many on the set.
I just happened to go through a personal experience that was so rough this last year. My wife lost her brother. We were on the precipice of losing one of our best friends. He was a mentor to me. You know, every morning we would get up and go swimming and down to the ocean. Stories like, you know, doing the Passion and then not being able to get the jobs that you used to get. And here's a film that is that successful and you're treated like a bum on the street in your own industry, you know. And he always was the right kind of person that was so authentic to me because he always got me focused on not being a victim. When he died this last year, it was a cross and it hurt, but I was able to expiate my pain playing this guy, and I was able to now see what this story could be. It's really a mentor relationship.
Is this preparing you for the follow-up to Passion?
Most definitely. It's part of the plan. It's part of the way. And it doesn't mean that we're going to not have any crosses along the way. The Passion of the Christ had a cross that was just that close to taking my life. A lightning strike, open heart surgery. You know, it was traumatic. The loss of your Hollywood friends, and you know, but would I change that direction? No, it was the greatest thing ever.
Up next, I Can Only Imagine is wowing moviegoers and smashing box office expectations. We're going to sit down with Mercy Me's Bart Millard and the film's director to talk more about how this heartwarming film is touching everyone. Next. The film I Can Only Imagine is wowing moviegoers, and they made it a surprise hit at the box office opening weekend, beating out films like A Wrinkle in Time and Love, Simon. The movie is the story of the lead singer of Mercy Me, Bart Millard, and what led him to write the best-selling Christian single of all time, I Can Only Imagine. Joining us now with a look at the film's success is Bart Millard and director Andy Irwin. Thank you both for joining us. So Bart, let's begin. I Can Only Imagine is based on a true story. Can you tell us real quick about the inspiration behind the song?
Yeah, I grew up in a broken home. Parents divorced when I was 3. Lived with my dad from about 3rd grade on. My mom remarried, moved away, and he was incredibly abusive, to say the least. And so it was a tough childhood. And my freshman year in high school, he was diagnosed with cancer, and I was given a front row to see my dad go from being a monster to a man that was desperately in love with Jesus. And by the time he passed away my freshman year in college, he was not only my best friend, but he was the godliest man I've ever known. And leaving the gravesite, my grandmother said, I can only imagine what your dad's seeing right now. And I became obsessed with heaven, him being a better place. As a 19-year-old, it was like it was an all-time low. I'm looking for the cellar door, just trying to figure out a way to get out. And here this phrase is. And so I used to write the phrase on everything I get my hands on, thinking about him being better off. And if I was on hold on the phone, I would write it down. My grandmother thought I was practicing my autograph half the time, but it was me just writing I Can Only Imagine down. And we're in a band, Mercy Me starts, and we're writing an independent record, needed one more song, and I'm looking for a blank page to start writing. And every page in every journal I had I Can Only Imagine written on it somewhere because of me doodling it so much. And so I was like, okay, God, I get it, and wrote the song, and I knew it was special to me, but had no idea that, you know, almost 20 years later, we'd still be talking about it. So it's been a crazy ride, crazy ride.
It is indeed special to you and to all of us. What would you say the main message of the film, considering that remarkable transformation that happens, what would you say the main message of the film is?
You know, the main message of the film is the same thing as the song. You know, when you know, John and my brother John and I decided to take on the movie, we said, you know, Bart, what is this song deliver? And he says is a rush of hope. And I mean, in fact, if you look in the dictionary and look up the word hope, it says the song I Can Only Imagine is the definition. So, you know, we knew that we had to do a movie that kind of delivered that same emotional transformation. And I think it is. And I think people are craving hope right now in redemption and saying nobody's beyond redemption. And to look at the numbers for the weekend and this audience that we love to serve, that we are part of the audience, to see them show up. 17.1 million opening weekend. That's double what anybody had in their wildest dreams.
We know the song is special. The film is obviously special to many of us. What was the experience like making it? Was that a special experience for both of you?
Yeah, it was surreal for me. You know, no one's written a book yet to say, hey, here's how to act when somebody makes a movie about you. And so I remember there's so many special moments of, you know, being on set. The first time I was on set watching Dennis Quaid, you know, act out, be my father. You know, I remember being around the corner, like where you couldn't see me, watching it all on a monitor and seeing this. You know, I didn't think that it would be an emotional thing at all because these guys are pretending. But to see him, you know, with a shirt with my dad's work shirt with his name on it, and hearing him call him by name. The first scene I saw was him being diagnosed with cancer, and man, it was a punch in the gut. Like I was like, I don't think I'm ready for this. And I was first approached 8 years ago when a producer out of Hollywood had the original idea to make the movie, and it feels like forever ago, but it's taken every bit of that for me to get in a healthy place spiritually and emotionally to now where I can sit and enjoy it as a fan.
Bart, one character in this film is, of course, your mom, and we see that she ends up leaving, being a victim of abuse as you were. What has this experience been like for her, having this part of her life told and shared?
It's better than I thought. It's when the Irwins first interviewed me about the movie and wanted me, like, how did you feel when this and happened? And I was talking about my mom leaving. They said, how did you feel? I was like, as a kid, I felt abandoned. So the first edit really went there, to where I remember I first saw it, I was like, because my mom's a very big part of my life now. And I was like, man, this is going to kill her. And I remember going to them going, hey, that's definitely how I felt. But as an adult, I realized more of she was in fear for her life, and there's a lot more story around it. And so they really started emphasizing those scenes to where young Bart kind of defending her honor and standing up to Dad. And even though they're subtle tweaks to the movie, it meant the world to me and my mom. And to the point to where when I showed it to her for the first time, she was in tears. She goes, sadly, that's how it happened. But, I'm so proud of who you've turned out to be now. And she's been at the premiere. She's our biggest fan and advocate for the movie.
Real quick, we've got less than a minute. What's your hope for the movie as it expands its reach and availability?
I think that right now the excitement. I mean, our plan ended. The opening weekend, we blew out the expectations of what we thought, and I think going into this next weekend and expanding to all the theaters and it going to markets that haven't seen it yet, I think we're only just scratching the surface of how large this faith film market is, and the family genre, and the middle America values. I think that it's going to continue to just blow our wildest expectations. So I'm excited to see the audience grow and understand this story.
Excellent. Thank you both, gentlemen. We appreciate your time. And welcome back. We leave you with this thought this Friday. God loves you, even your flaws. He doesn't see them as flaws at all. After all, His strength is made perfect in your weakness. With that word, be sure to make this a fabulous Friday and a wonderful rest of the week. You can always find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. We'd love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. You can also reach us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Make this a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you Monday.